Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Richard Horwood. He's the Chief Operating Officer at Electric Guitar. Richard, it's very good to meet you, and you've announced you're acquiring MyMine in the next step in your buy and build strategy. Could you start by telling us a little bit about MyMine?
Yes, of course. Good to meet you, Stephen. The MyMine is a business that brings both software that enhances the offerings that we've already got with True Radical, and also, very importantly, sales and marketing resources and expertise, which we're now able to bring in-house. And in fact, MyMine was the company that True Radical had already engaged to do its sales and marketing for it on a third-party basis before we bought True Radical. And so one of the things we're doing with this acquisition is bringing that all in-house so that we can now apply that expertise as well, not only to save money and create synergies and so on, but also apply it across all the other businesses that we'll be buying as we develop our buy and build strategy. So it's a combination of bringing in-house some extra software, extra complementary software to what we've already got with True Radical, and also sales and marketing expertise.
Could you touch on that buy and build strategy, Richard?
I can. Obviously, there are limits to what I can say because we had quite a pipeline of potential acquisitions that we were working on at the time we did the RTO with True Radical in May, and we're still talking to a number of companies. One of the things that we did is by floating as we did, we're one of the few companies out there that is actually able to offer paper to mainly technology-based businesses, but also other businesses expert at dealing with first-party data, at engaging consumers and that sort of thing. And we can offer paper for acquisitions in a way that a lot of other businesses can't. And one of the things we've identified, and one of the reasons for Electric Guitar existing, is that a lot of these businesses were built by very, very good technical people. And one of the things that a lot of them missed was the commercial expertise to productize and monetize and exploit and sell their products. And that's what we're bringing to the market, particularly with the acquisition of MyMine. We're adding to our capabilities in doing that. So yes, we have a pipeline of further acquisitions. I can't talk about them now, but I'm sure you'll be hearing about them as and when we progress in that strategy.
So this is an all-share transaction, Richard, but you do make the point that the cost savings more than offset the value of the all-share consideration, and that's really because of the sales and marketing function, isn't it?
That's right. So True Radical already had a contract with MyMine, and in the very short term, the consideration we're paying, which is split into two parts, the consideration available on completion is more than covered by the cost savings we'll get in the next couple of months. So, and that's an all-paper deal anyway, so that's valuable. But projecting forwards, if we'd continued with the contract, there would be very substantial cost savings as a whole. The second part of the consideration, by the way, is conditional, and part of it's conditional on us actually monetizing the intellectual property that we're buying with MyMine, so that they get an extra little bit if and when we actually manage to monetize that IP. So it's a very, very good deal from our point of view.
It's also a related party transaction. So John Regan and John Hutchinson, directors of Electric Guitar, are also shareholders in MyMine. So this will be put forward to shareholders, won't it?
That's right. It's under Section 190 of the Companies Act. As a related party transaction, it has to be approved by our shareholders. Both Johns actually set it up before they created Electric Guitar, and that's why it's already got some activities in it. Ever since Electric Guitar floated, they were recused from any dealings between Electric Guitar and MyMine, and the independent directors of Electric Guitar have handled all those discussions all the way through. So it is completely independent, this deal, and approved by all the independent directors of Electric Guitar, and indeed by our Nomad, who also had to approve it.
Richard, you mentioned the consideration for the deal. So maybe just to clarify, it's £72,000 to start off with, and then the total transaction value is worth up to £154,000. Is that correct?
That's right. So, and all in shares. So the initial £72,000 worth of shares will be issued on completion, and the balance, about 80,000 in total, is conditional on achieving certain objectives, including generating revenue from the intellectual property. So that's effectively self-financing. So it's a very, very good value deal from our point of view, and we save a substantial amount in not only cost savings, but other synergies, as well as being able to in-house the sales and marketing expertise that MyMine has, that we can then apply to the other businesses that we're buying.
Well, Richard, I hope you'll keep us updated with any progress on that deal. Thank you very much for speaking with us today.
Thank you very much, Stephen.
That's Richard Horwood, the Chief Operating Officer at Electric Guitar.